Mainstream media has glorified the concept of entrepreneurship. When we talk about entrepreneurship, we tend to think of, superhuman champions, something very close to superstars. The wake-up culture has built them. But some of the things nobody talks about are the hard part of it. I'll share those hard things, and then I will provide advice that I have, because you will actually encounter at least one or two of this. So let's roll into that. Number one. Yeah, welcome to another episode of Fireside Conversation. My name is Olufemi Sheyi. I'm a real estate salesman. I buy, build, and sell real estate. I enjoy that. But before I go on to what I'm going to discuss today, and what I'm going to discuss today is very interesting. I'd like you to do me a favor. I'd like you to just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Casafina TV. So let's dive into what I want to discuss. Today, I'm going to be talking about 10 hard lessons or 10 hard things nobody told me about entrepreneurship. The thing with entrepreneurship is that mainstream media has glorified the concept of entrepreneurship. When we talk about entrepreneurship, we tend to think of, superhuman champions, something very close to superstars. The wake-up culture has built them. But some of the things nobody talks about are the hard part of it. I'll share those hard things, and then I will provide advice that I have, so that because you will actually encounter at least one or two of this. So let's roll into that. Number one, you are most likely to fail. The thing is this, 90% of businesses will fail in the first 1 year. Of the 10% that is remaining, another 90% is expected to fail over the course of 5 years. So really, your chance of success is 1 in 100 or even lesser. So really, you are most likely to fail. But now, doesn't mean you should not try. But what it means is you need to understand that failure is part of that journey, that even if you fail, you can always start all over again. The problem with what we've done in education generally is to demonize the concept of failure. The guy who is failing in class is the guy everybody looks down on, is the one that teachers don't like. It becomes like, quote unquote, a very bad person. Yes, while I'm not advocating that we should embrace failing in terms of our grade, but we need to understand that for you to succeed in anything, failure is part of the journey. Nobody has had success upon success. Failure is part of that foundry that your strength is built. So you need to get yourself to that point where you can absorb your failure, and then don't take it personal. Don't use it as a validation of the quality of your person. Don't take it as a referendum on who you are, but take it as an event, like a milestone along your journey as you go to the top. So that is number one. Number two, very few people will understand your vision. And that is the mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make. You set up the business, you expect people, your staff, you expect your friends, you expect your siblings to understand exactly what the vision is. That is the beginning of frustration for you, if that is where you're coming from. You see, entrepreneurial journey and entrepreneurial vision is like, you're seeing something that nobody else is seeing at the moment. And then, let me use a very clear example. If somebody sits with you, or you're seated in a hall, you have 1,000 people, and one of you stands up and starts looking at the ceiling and then start running towards the door, probably because he's seeing something. All of you are not seeing what that guy is seeing. If you look at that guy, the closest that you can use to describe the guy that is running because of what he has seen that nobody else has seen is that guy has mental problem. That is the way it is with entrepreneurship. You can identify opportunities and maybe nobody else sees it. You are passionate about the opportunity that you've seen. Nobody else is passionate about that. One of the recipes for frustration is to expect your employees, to expect your friend to actually join in and run the same way you're running with the vision that you've got. So understand that not everybody will understand your vision. And then once you understand that, you accommodate that in your planning. And then what do? You build on your communication skill, because you need to regularly communicate that vision until people get it. It takes a while for them to get it, but once they get it, and once you get people who get those visions, you need to treasure them. They are precious material that you don't want to let go at any point in time. Number three, nobody really cares about your product. Everybody cares about their pain, and honestly, there's so much pain in the world. They only care when your product aligns with their pain point, or when your product solves their pain point, and you need to get that point. Don't be enamored with any product that you have. You only need to understand the product that aligns with the pain point of the person or the people or the market you want to serve. When you are lucky and that alignment comes into your business, You want to make sure that those people whose pain point aligns with your business, you want to hold them. They are precious. They are the most important component of your business. They are the ones that will take your solution every time and pay you for the value that you're giving them. That is number 3. Number 4, the entrepreneurs eat last. You see, when we're on social media, on any of those platforms, you see people that they call entrepreneurs. How do we know that this guy is an entrepreneur? You see the guy that is dressing in flashy, branded material. You see the guy driving a Lamborghini. You see the guy who is somewhere upstage talking to millions of people. That is the picture of the entrepreneur that we have. But that is quite wrong most of the time. The entrepreneur eats last. What do I mean? If you check your auditor report or any auditor report at the end of the day, you will find out that the revenue, what came in, will be at the top line. And then after that, you pay your vendors. After you pay your vendors, you pay for cost of fund if you borrow money. Then you pay the staff salaries, and then you pay, you pay. And then you even get to a point where you have to pay what is left. You pay government their taxes, and then you have profit that you can take. The mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make is to assume that they will take that money first. You only eat what is left, not you eat and then share what is left. That is a mistake in business that most entrepreneurs make, and it's a very hard lesson. If you're an entrepreneur, you are listening to me today, or you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you need to actually have that mindset that you are the one that will eat last. And so what do you need to do once you realize that and you are still interested in going on an entrepreneurial journey? You need to prepare for your journey. You are starting your entrepreneurial journey. Save money, because you will need it, because you might not be eating in the first few years. Number 2 is to build a network that can support you when you don't have anything. You want to have partners that would say, you know what, let's share the burden. When we're not making money, at least the pain will not be that much. And then you need to learn to live a very Spartan life. It is not true most of the things you see on social media, where you see that the guy starts a business or started a business 2 days ago, and then tomorrow he buys a G-Wagon and then is driving. Most of those pictures you see are either made up or a lot of fraud comes in. It takes time for success to happen in that manner. So prepare, because you are the last person to take your plate off the table. Number 5, you don't know all the answer, or to put it better, most of the time you will not know the answer, but you still have to take action anyway. So what is my advice? You have to be action oriented. You have to realize that sometimes you are going to miss it, and then you have to be able to listen, be humble enough to listen to experts and people who you think might know better, whether mentors or people who have been in the industry, whether you check online, whatever it is. You need to get to that point where you realize that you don't have all the answers most of the time, and then go find the answer. And then sometimes you have to move forward whether you have the answer or not. So you need to just say, look, mini, and then you pick one. Sometimes it's actually like that. Don't let yourself get into analysis paralysis, because it's going to kill your entrepreneurial journey. That is number 5. Number 6, success takes time. If you're starting your entrepreneurial journey, you need to give yourself, measure your time in years minimum. A lot of us start businesses. You start an online business selling whatever it is you're selling, and then you start month 1, you get 1 customer, month 2, you don't get any customer, month 3, you don't get any, and then by month 4, you jump to another product saying that this product is not selling. Success takes a long time, and this is why. Because it's not just about the business, it's not just about the result sometimes. It's also about who you are becoming as you journey through entrepreneurship. You need to become better to get better results. Most people never get to that point. It takes time to build your intellectual muscle. It takes time to build who you are, to build a successful person, because it is only a successful person that can birth a successful business. So you need to measure in years, and you need to calibrate to that point. You would have downtime in those journeys. Sometimes success would not be obvious because you've not yet gotten to that point yet. So you need to accept that, and you need to be able to live day to day, committed to the grind, do what you have to do on a daily basis, whether it's interesting or not, until you get to the first milestone of success. And remember, success has level. Your success of today is actually going to look so small compared to your success of tomorrow. But remember, it takes a while. Number 7, if you succeed, you will have enemies. So if political correctness is your thing, you don't want to go the entrepreneurial route. The fact that you have succeeded sometimes will remind some small-minded people of their failures. And because of that, because you remind them of their failures, they will hate you for it. And 2, in the journey of success, there are decisions you will take that are not necessarily going to be popular. For example, there are friends you would have to cut off and out of your life. When you do that and you get to a point where you succeed, they will look at you and say that because now you have some element of success, you've abandoned them and they will hate you for it. It's not that you abandon them, the fact that you had to abandon them to succeed. Those are two separate things. It is not the success that is making you to abandon them. It's the fact that you abandon that crowd. That is why you are succeeding today. You will make those hard decisions. And I can guarantee you, people will hate you for it. Some will hate you for no reason, simply because you've succeeded. And I see it happening everywhere. There is no successful entrepreneur today in Nigeria that people are not saying nonsense about, and they will continue to say nonsense. So if you are one of those that say nonsense about successful entrepreneurs, I'd like you to note one thing. If you get to any level of success, people are going to say nonsense about you. They will say things that are not necessarily true. They will say things that are false. They will say things that are calculated to damage you. They will tell you are arrogant. And are you really arrogant? Not necessarily all the time. You are just sure and you are striding forward without that thought of people that want to pull you down. You need to get a thick skin. That is my advice. So once you succeed, you will have enemy. That is number 7. Number 8, everybody has an agenda. Once you start, if you have an entrepreneur vision and you start to create your product, everybody that you're going to meet along the journey, particularly at the beginning, you have an idea of how your product should look like, what your product should look like, how you should present it, how you should address it, who you should be, what your business should be like. That is one thing you are going to note. And really, some of them might be talking out of a place of love. Some talk because they think that you should conform to what they know or what they've known, particularly if your business is an innovative business that is cutting edge as it is. So they want to make sure you comply or you conform to what is already existing. And sometimes they are talking out of ignorance because that is the best that they know. But remember, and some just want to do it because they want to still be quote unquote in control of your journey. So remember, everybody has an agenda. So what is my advice? Once you're starting your entrepreneurial journey, you need to have clarity of your vision, clarity of your mission, and clarity of the purpose of your journey. If you are not sure about those things, you will go in any direction and your entrepreneurial journey will be much more painful until you realize it. So as you start on your journey, be very clear about those things and realize that everybody has an agenda. Some actually have agenda from genuine fear or care for you, but some have negative agenda. So you need to be very clear about that. Number 9, you really don't know as much as you should know as an entrepreneur. You know, it's because a lot of entrepreneurs are driven at charging individuals. There's this assumption sometimes that they have the answer or they know a lot about that. You really don't know as much as you should know. Because if you know as much as you should know, you will not be at the level where you are. You'll be at the next level. And by the way, there's this common quote that we all grow to the level of incompetence. Every time you build a skill and you grow to that level, you realize that for you to get to the next level, the skill you have is not sufficient for the next level. So at every point in time, you must be quote unquote incompetent, because then once you realize that, yes, I am incompetent for the next level, then you ask yourself, which is the advice I'm going to give? What do I need to learn to become competent to go to the next level? And then you go to the next level, you become incompetent for the next level. And that is the way it is. So you must be a lifelong student. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you must learn every day. And then once you get to a point where you don't know, you must know where to seek for knowledge, and you must go after knowledge. The other way to actually do this is to actually make sure that every time that you are, as you progress every day, you surround yourself with those who know more, with those who are better, and then you learn from them, you work with them. And that is the power of building a network. You need to understand that you have to invest in those masterminds that would help you, because you do not know as much as you should know. Number 10 is entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Now, I'm sure that this is counterintuitive or counterculture, because our society, because of the success and the glitter of it, promotes the fact that everybody should be an entrepreneur. I don't think so. I think some people are better suited to be entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs means you exhibit your leadership, your innovative skill within the structure that is already existing. And we need to realize who we are as the person, because once you realize that that is your role, if you go into any system, you are able to build it up, you're able to strengthen it, and then you can actually generate value for yourself. And if you are asking, how do I know whether entrepreneurship is for me? Well, this is what I would say. You need to understand who you are as a person. You need to understand that maybe I don't want to take the risk that I see. And then you now have to ask yourself, how else can I add value within the system where I work? So remember, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. And then you can still be massively successful without being an entrepreneur. That is the number 10 point. And those are the 10 hard lessons that nobody told me before I started my entrepreneur journey. And as I conclude, your success is not determined by whether you're an entrepreneur or you're not. You can be massively successful whether if you decide to tow your career path. The most important thing at every point is value creation. You can create value where you are, no matter who you are. So keep creating value and then go through the 10 hard lessons if you decide to take entrepreneurial journey, because it will help you. Before you go, I'd like you to do me a favor. I'd like you to just follow our social media channel at Casafina Development, at Casafina Development across Facebook and Instagram. And then do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Casafina TV. That would also help our team that are committing so much to creating this video. Thank you, and then see you next video.